This podcast is brought to you by Primary Arms. Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms. With over 13,000 products from over 400 top brands, Primary Arms carries a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearms parts, shooting gear, apparel, and more. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service, backed by fast shipping and an expert support team. Primary Arms, serving freedom since 2008. Find out more at frn.deals/PA. Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first rifle or if you've been building them for years. There is something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. Hello, my name is Nick Dooley. I am joined tonight on this very special episode of the AR-15 podcast by my co-host, Garth Over.
How we doing, guys?
And Tyler Brockle.
Cheers.
How is everyone doing out there tonight? I know that, while you might not be able to see us all, we are all three in the same place at the same time.
Magical.
Yeah, it's
a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas or New Year's or whatever you want to call it miracle. And we are all together, and it's probably not, it's going to happen a couple more times in the recent or not too distant future. Like there will be a lot of time of the three of us together again. And I promise I will not sing. That's one of the things that
you're more of a Baby Got Back singer anyway.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Fergalicious.
So how are you guys doing tonight?
Not too bad at all, actually. Been a pretty nice Christmas, winding down for the New Year's, and kind of excited because Tyler and I get to do that training for the NRA and become certified instructors, someday, so we can be as cool as you.
Yeah.
No, whatever.
It'd be just like Dooley when I grew up.
Yeah,
So
that's what I want to be.
We're here. We got NRA basic pistol course, which is butted up right against NRA pistol instructor course. So we'll be certified by the end of this week, or actually by Saturday's our last day.
Correct.
Yeah. So that'll be really looking forward to that. I did do the online training that we were required to do as a prereq coming into this. And I got to say some of it was it was interesting because it's a really entry level course, right? I mean, they talk about some of the stuff is so basic, it's almost hard to follow because we've been doing it and accustomed to it and general knowledge. But, these courses are meant to be for anybody who's at any level, like brand new to shooting.
Well, they want to drive home fundamentals.
Right. Yeah, that too. So it's like I'm overthinking a lot of the questions that were on.
Yes, Jake. They did. We did bring the bourbon.
Yeah, we did bring the bourbon. Check it out. I found Buffalo Trace and actually the big 175. So Buffalo Trace in Pier. I was excited.
And of course, anytime the three of us get together, we have to have Blackened by Metallica.
Yes. They are not show sponsors. This is just what we drink.
If we hit the big time, we'll know we hit it when we get a cease and desist letter.
Yes.
From James or Lars, that'd be interesting.
That and we'll also be able to afford a room that all three of us can fit in.
I mean, we fit in this. It's just the camera placement is
questionable. The camera's in the corner maybe, but that's whatever.
You need that wide angle lens that you take your dick pics with. Then we might be able to see all three of us.
Again, they're tasteful nudes.
Tasteful nudes. They are quite tasteful, aren't they?
But no, so before we go too far down into the rabbit hole that is
dick pics.
And etc. So this one is going to be kind of a fun episode. There isn't a lot of a rhyme or reason. We want a lot of feedback and interaction from you guys out in the audience because
reasons
and things, and tis the season and whatnot.
Wink, wink.
Forgiving?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. And so with that, we're going to start talking about some of our favorite things that have came out this year or that we have got to use.
Yep. Or at least we became aware of. I'm gonna say that, as the disclaimer.
That's better.
So the top items in the firearms industry, or the top products that we have come across, whether they're new or the first time we saw them, but at least what we've become aware of this year in 2022. And why don't you kick it off, Dooley? What's your number one?
Oh man, no, Vernon, it is not the Glock AR. I am a man of taste.
You aware?
But no, my favorite thing, honestly, I have been completely enamored with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I drag this stupid thing with me everywhere. It's almost like Linus's blanket.
You're not talking about your fleshlight, are you?
No, we're not talking about Sally. We're talking.
Is it the Fix-It Stick?
No, the Fix-It Sticks I've had for years. What I am talking about is the Montgo 9 by Matador Arms. My Montgo 9 upper. And it is wonderful. Like that little 8-inch gun. Today we actually had it sitting side by side with an MP5.
Yeah.
And with the PDW all the way in on the MP5.
It's in the other room.
Oh,
I can get it.
no, you're good.
But with the PDW all the way in, so in its smallest configuration, the 8-inch MP5 versus my Montgo 9, I had, a side folder on, and you could fire both of them in that configuration.
Mm-hmm.
But with the silencer, the 8-inch Montgo 9 was the same length as the 8-inch MP5.
You know what I really like about your Montgo 9? It has VZ grips on it.
Oh, VZ grips. Yes. VZ grips. The unique features of AR grips are they are machined from a solid block of G10. G10 is great because it's durable and doesn't get slippery when covered in mud, blood, or sweat. The 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of textures from mild to extreme. And color options available. Shorty versions also available in case you want to stuff that in a backpack. 1911 grip features, extremely customizable. Standard, slim palm swells, thumb notches, safety cuts, bottom profiles, and more. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available. This coupon code is good for 15% off all handgun and rifle grips. And that code is AR-15 pod.
He actually does have that VZ grip on that Montgo 9, and it is
solid grip.
It's a solid grip.
I
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Not that it's that heavy of a gun, but
no.
It's I like one thing, like talking MT5s, those MP5 grip modules, they're very slick. Like you got to put some kind of textured tape on it or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're terrible. But I wish VZ grips had an MP5 grip module.
Well, in such a short base, I want a textured grip so I can fully command that weapon.
100%.
So
yes, and no, I love that stupid little thing, binary trigger with a can on it and a red dot. And after I actually, went and sighted it in instead of just mag dumping in the trash, it does amazingly well. And it, everything about it just works.
Mm-hmm.
It runs. It's, small. It's fun to shoot.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone shoot it and not just get that stupid giggle.
Well, I've watched a few people shoot it, and then you sell a few Franklin Armory binary triggers. So,
yeah, we need to get them.
Yeah,
again.
Let's move some shit. So, you got any more on the Montgo?
I know that allegedly, I am told in hushed whispers and back alleys and shady meeting places that they are coming out with a version 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that will be interesting because apparently they improved on a couple things.
Okay.
That'd be neat. All right.
Specifics, or?
I have none.
Things we can learn at the shows.
Shows.
Oh no, maybe someday, but not right now.
Franklin giveaway.
Well, I'm not saying of this show. I'm saying the show we're about to attend.
Yeah, well,
SHOT Show.
Yeah, when we go to SHOT Show, we'll be talking to a lot of people about a lot of things.
I can't wait. I am so overwhelmed right now.
Oh no.
I got on the app the other day and I just shut it down. I said nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
DeMello will work on it. No promises. Giveaway tonight though is the Primary Arms upper receiver. So more to come on that. And we are planning on attending the SHOT Show here in a few weeks. So we'll see what we can do. I did talk to Franklin Armory, some of their marketing people at last year's SHOT Show, but that's because they needed help moving a ladder. I should have.
That's your end.
I know, right? That's my end, and I totally fucked that up. So, anyway, I'll move on to mine. My product this year, one of the ones that I really liked, and I think Dooley, you can attest to this too, was the new Frontier Armory lower receivers. And I saw these guys at the NRA show, and what was super cool about what they had was, up until this point, I've seen a lot of Glock. When you build your own AR-9, a lot of them are just Glock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a huge fan of the look, and I'm not a huge fan of the Glock mags, just the angle and sometimes the polymer.
They look
slide
weird.
as well. They look weird. Now, don't get me wrong. They still they just work. They're the machete of magazines, right? They're not really going to fail. But new Frontier Armory makes lower receivers that take MP5 mags and Scorpion mags. So you can, it really gives you the choice now. Like this was before I had my MP5s, but now if I wanted to, I know a lot of people out there have Scorpions. You can get your AR-9 and use the same magazines between the two, which I think's phenomenal.
I have one of those.
I know you have one of those.
It's in the other room.
I'm talking about it.
If a cautionary tale to anyone who wants to do that, buy the new Frontier Armory upper to go with that as well. Unless you want to do what I did.
Well, what's the reason? Why was there interference with other upper receivers on that new Frontier lower?
So when you run either the C5, which is the MP5 mag lower,
mm-hmm.
or the S5, which is the Scorpion lower, yes, and so there's a handful of people talking in the while I digress here, you'll see #FreePause.
Yeah.
One of the hosts of the We Like Shooting show has been banned from SHOT Show.
What?
Yes.
For what?
Allegedly, he said something on Facebook that went against some set of rules that was either for the NSSF or for SHOT Show, one of the two. And they're like, no, you're banned. Well, what violation? What did I say? It doesn't matter. You're banned. They won't give him an answer. Like, none of this. It's just, no, we banned him.
Who got banned?
Jeremy Pause Derek.
Really?
So free the pause.
Huh.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, everyone keep up the free the pause. And keep that stuff going. So that's what?
Nothing.
That's a that is definitely a as that goes through. But as this goes through, I'll go back to talking about the MP5 and the Scorpion lowers from New Frontier. I love it. Like,
yeah,
it looks cool. It well, I shouldn't say I know it runs well because I haven't actually. I got it all built.
Yeah, it's a good looking AR. I mean,
and then I had to really, it's a poor man's MPX.
Yeah, but I, like I said, I like it. I like it a lot better. I mean, so you had that Aero Precision handguard on there.
Upper.
Yep, EPC upper. It was a very large diameter, and I got those fucking Go Gadget hands, so I can. It was really comfortable for me. It's a really well built gun.
Yep, and it's so The problem with that is, in order to get the geometry to fit with those Scorpion mags
Mm-hmm.
or the MP5 mags, because they're a true double stack all the way up.
Yep.
Instead of a double with that taper into the single,
Mm-hmm.
it's wider at the top.
Okay.
So they're actually a little bit wider than a standard.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to open up. If you get the New Frontier, there's actually more material and it's a wider casting on the upper receiver.
Interesting.
And then it has a larger opening for everything to fit in.
Okay. So you're saying get the New Frontier upper receiver if you want to do this.
Yeah, I'm saying buy the receiver set.
Yes. And then you don't have to mill or modify.
Yeah, then you don't have to chalk up your receiver in a mill and then mill out parts.
Yep.
And then go, okay, and then make everything work and then go, all right, and then go back because you measure, you cut twice and measure once. That's how that goes, right?
Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, either way, I thought that was a really cool product because it would allow me to standardize my different magazines. Now, the only thing I have to say is I don't believe they have an MPX. I think it's just Scorpion and
no, it's Scorpion
MP5.
and MP5.
Yep.
That is it. So when I call it the poor man's MPX, it's because it has that same flow.
Yep. But I mean, I have both MP5s and MPXs. So I don't really have the option. The only downside is I don't have the option to do an MPX lower. I think their mags are a little bit more modern, but at the same time, I do like my MP5 as well. So anyway.
I mean, there was a lot of cool things from the 60s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And AR mags have been around for a minute.
Fair.
And I have a couple.
Yeah.
A few. Yeah.
Right on. Garth, what's your product of the year?
Well, I'm a simpleton, unlike you guys. I'm not going to make these guys spend thousands of dollars on cool products. I really enjoy the Primary Arms Expo. Sorry, here we go. I want to get this right. The Expo Arms M-Lock barrier stopping device. It's a $24 or $25 piece that goes on any pistol or rifle. It really helps me out in competitions. I enjoy it both just because of the texture of the grip.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I can slam that into any barrier I want. It's in the name, man, and I really enjoyed that. I mean, that went on 4 of my guns, and 2 of them were my competition ARs, my 9 and my 223. And wow, what a fantastic device. I mean, I know there's angle grips out there, and everyone got really into the vertical grips for a while. But that's my cat's meow right now.
Yeah.
I really just enjoy that piece of equipment on my ARs. So I know we can't go deep diving into that, but that's just me personally, man.
No, that's good.
Hey, that works because I have another product I'm going to mention that's like $30.
Perfect. Let's hear about it.
Oh, so I don't have it on this bench because it's laying on the workbench over there. And everyone has heard me mention it at least 5 times, I'm sure, because I talk about it, I think, every episode now since I have got home and played with it.
Is that a Dickfer?
It's the AR takedown tool.
Oh, I was going to come around. You stole mine.
Legitimately, guys, I am absolutely enamored with that little tool. It is for the usability and size that it has. It is amazing. And I've built carry the one, a handful of ARs since I've been back.
2 ARs. 2.
I didn't say they were for me. And I've used that thing to the point of like I almost have to regrind the mushroomed like brass
head.
He's not saying it for show prospect. I mean, he's legit about this. He won't shut up about it. When I go to the bar, he's like, "Oh no, this is the greatest tool in the world. You should buy one." I have one. It's in the box.
Yeah, I love it.
So speaking of tools, the other one I really like is the front indent installation tool from Real Avid. So I've also, we've been putting on a lot of build classes this last year, and that tool is how you can easily install the front, the spring and the detent for your front takedown pin without risking shooting yourself in the eye, because it happens every freaking time. And it's only a $10 tool.
Yeah.
So even if you build like one AR-15, it is, yeah, here it is. Bam. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
for the people watching.
For the people watching.
For the tens and tens.
Yep. Just a simple plastic tool. And
A little higher, Tyler.
oh, there we go. Yep. $10. You get it at your local Runnings, Cabela's, Shields, you name it, sporting goods store. Absolutely worth it. Yeah, because you lose one of those detent pins. I now have went out and purchased, and here's another good one, the White Label Armory Armorer's Kit. So now I at least have a stock of these detent pins for when it goes flying across.
It's amazing how much a detent pin will stop an entire AR build.
Oh, yeah.
Or, in the case of some people, start one.
Or someone, hey, there's that little guy.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I'm looking at you, Vernon.
Yeah.
But no, that is, yeah, I have obviously used that tool. It is.
Yeah. And these are not, by the way, these are not new. I just used it extremely heavily this year, and absolutely, yeah, invest. It's worth, even if you only build like maybe 2 or 3 guns over a several year span. I think having these tools as an AR-15 owner are really essential. It saves you a lot of headache.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, they are 2 of my favorite tools, and like we're not gonna pan the camera to my workbench, but
There's a bench over there.
Yeah, underneath all the tools. Underneath all the tools is a bench, and then there's even more tools in the garage.
It's a good thing all those M17s are holding that bench up.
Yeah. There's only a couple under there.
Oh. You got another one, Garth?
I do, actually. One of my other favorite projects of this year, we got teased about it because we'd heard about it when it first came out. I actually now have one. I have not mounted it on a gun yet because I'm in the process of picking out the perfect AR for my pickup. But Swamp Fox came out with a Saber 5x Prism, and I have it on my bench. I've looked through it. I love the glass. I love the blade. One time I had the Trihawk 3 times. It wasn't for me, but then that 5x optic came out, man, and I am in love with that optic already. And I haven't even mounted it yet. But,
what gun are you going to put it on?
Well, I am going to go with the SIG because I am in the SIG madness right now. So I'm going to go with a SIG Snakebite M400. And I can't wait to do that. I have money burning a hole in my safe right now. If my gun dealer would just find one.
We'll talk about that off air because I believe that your gun dealer told you there was one available.
You did, but it wasn't the right color. And you know me, I'm all about fashion and statements too. So
this is true.
And he called us bougie earlier.
He is our little fashionista.
I mean, I try to match when I go out. I'm a big guy, so I got a style and profile because there's a lot of me to go around.
What are you going to use in that gun for?
I'm going to put that in my pickup, actually. That has become my new pickup gun.
Okay.
I just actually got a Yankee Hill, and which is crazy because I ordered 2 of them at the exact same time, but I only got 1 back right now, which drives me nuts. So I'm going to throw a Yankee Hill on that, and that's going to be my new pickup gun for coyotes and tyranny and all the above.
And actually, let me piggyback off that one. So,
we actually have a great question here. So when using a fixed magnification, such as a 5X, do you run a red dot with it as well?
Son of a bitch, Vernon, you read my mind. So I was just going to say the same thing, right? And in my opinion, yes, I absolutely would. And one of the other new products that came out this year, I know we already touched on a Swamp Fox product, but there is another Swamp Fox product, and it just came out this year, which was the Swamp Fox Kraken, which is a closed emitter red dot. And for those of you who don't know what a closed emitter is versus a non-closed emitter just means that the entire thing is encapsulated, right? So with an open emitter, you can get water, dirt, mud, whatever in there, and it can
RMR, like an RMR.
Yep.
is a open emitter red dot.
Yep.
A
Delta Point Pro, Romeo 1.
any of the slide ride
Yep.
Optics are open emitter, except for the Aimpoint Arco.
Yep.
Because that is a closed emitter.
Yep.
The Swamp Fox Kraken, and then the Sig Romeo 2 is like a weird mullet version of that, because like they just hemmed the foreskin.
Yep.
Like
yep.
in case you can roll it back out in case you want to.
But you realize though the 5-time saber. I'm sorry for those watching at home and listening. We're great for radio. They actually have a plate on the 5-time saber for a red dot.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
So the next question you had is on board or a 45-degree offset. The Swamp Fox magnifiers have I believe it's what I'd call the 3 and the 9 points to put it on and have it hard mounted on the sides. So you can just rotate it to the side and be more at a 90.
So you mount it right onto
the optic, where I think right over beside you, there is a Trigicon box back there.
Oh, I'm getting ice. Does anyone need ice?
No.
Okay.
But if you would look at, so for our viewing audience, if you would look at like on a Trigicon ACOG, you will see that there are 2 holes on the end of that eyepiece. And those are actually designed for a mounting plate to mount a RMR2. The original design and use case for an RMR was to be mounted to the top of an ACOG.
Mm-hmm.
So when you ran that 4-power prism using bend and aiming principles, you could actually run that red dot 2 for close engagements.
So to answer your question, Vernon, I think it's kind of a personal preference, right? So for me, I actually do have a Kraken. I use it in conjunction with a 1x6 Vortex Strike Eagle, but on that particular weapon, I have one of the Swamp Fox's 45-degree offsets that I put a little more forward on my gun. And so I will actually rotate my gun 45 degrees. And I kind of like that because my chin is always touching. So if I have to have the red dot like above my optic, sometimes my chin might have to come off. With the 45 degrees, I just roll it, and I always have the perfect offset because I can actually feel the gun against.
I figured we want to play with it.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
You bet.
Brought my MP5 in. So yeah, but it's really personal preference. I've done it both ways. It's just my current setup right now. I do the 45 degrees.
So I've run 45-degree offset irons in conjunction with it, and I would prefer now. I have irons that, or I shouldn't say I have irons. I have scope rings that will accept a mount.
Oh yeah,
and that is for one of next year's projects.
Would you guys rather run backup irons or backup red dot?
Yes.
It's
no. Pick one.
So I guess the reason I like backup irons is because there's no batteries involved, but shooting irons at a 45-degree offset to me is not as efficient. So in a perfect world, I would actually maybe like more of a tritium-based red dot. Okay. So I get the best of both worlds. I get the fast target acquisition, and I don't have to worry about my batteries or something failing.
So when it comes into that, this is one of those where I'm going to say something and Garth's going to go, well, I mean, because
go on.
It will depend greatly upon, what optic I am using the backup to. So if I am running if I was in the project I have coming up that I will be talking about to the point where everyone gets bored of me talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when I'm running the MPVO. So a 3 to 18 power optic.
Yeah.
I would prefer to have a red dot on the side because I have an etched glass reticle that I will be using
to
look through.
That's fair.
So I will
have that to look through. Or if I was running like, an ACOG, I would like to have the red dot as the side mounted for faster shooting. Now, if I have my EOTech and and magnifier or just an EOTech, I would want either backup iron sights that will do bottom third co-witness instead of an offset red dot, because like I'm not quite exhibit of, hey man, I heard you like red dots, so we put dots on your dots.
Yeah.
I would have to go with length of barrel because that's a huge factor.
Yeah, that's true too.
So I'm realistically, I don't run backups at all, and that's my downfall. But because most of the guns I run are prism optics or LPVOs, so there's always an etch reticle in there.
Yep. But that doesn't mean the glass can't always break.
Correct. In that circumstance, I mean, before December, I was very against red dot. So I guess it was what it was. What's Lou saying? I don't know.
If you're not watching the AR-15 podcast while holding an AR, are you really watching?
It's kind of like watching John McClane without a Beretta.
Yeah, that's true. You have to watch Die Hard holding a Beretta.
We're holding bourbons. It's close enough.
Did you guys watch your John McClane fix this year?
Yep.
I did not.
I couldn't find it. It wasn't on TV anymore.
I own the 5 DVD set.
I mean, it's Amazon, Netflix, whatever. I mean, you can buy it for Amazon for like.
You still have a
$7.
DVD player? You're old. You have a kid.
He is old.
Yeah.
I have an
you gotta get those Frozen episodes.
I have an Xbox.
He's got an Xbox 360.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, and a Blu-ray player.
Whoa!
So Thomas said 6mm arc.
Who don't have one.
No.
Heard good things.
Yeah, I have seen many of them. I've seen a lot of them and know people who've shot them.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think this one has a little bit of staying power.
Yeah.
It's been around. So this is the first one of them that I've seen that's in this family, like 6.5 Grendel. I mean, it's
around, but it's not quite as popular as 6.5 Creedmoor.
Well, it's 6.5 Grendel was around, and it was kind of a flash in the pan, and it was the round that refused to die. And I can go full ammo nerd on this and explain why. So 6.5 Grendel is actually a 7.62 by 39 case, neck down to 6.5 millimeter.
Yep.
So you use like the case head and all this, you have a higher probability of things breaking whilst using that because of the mass of the bolt carrier. And it's a great round. HK slap, everyone.
Sorry.
But as that runs through, yes, it's the same bolt face as a 7.62 by 39. And in having that, you will have more propensity for failure because it doesn't have enough mass to contain everything. So when that momentum's moving around, it is more prone to breaking, like breaking lugs off of a bolt or something like that. Your bolt face is more likely to break. And it's when you're running them, they're, it's a solid, and again, that's the 6.5 Grendel. And there was a lot of capabilities with it. I mean, there's a lot of things that round could do that weren't being optimized. And then as bolts came, or as the bullet properties got better, you saw better things happening with it to come back. And that really helped that. And then you could do a lot of things with it. You could still shoot a lot of range. And it's, definitely not gone completely by the wayside, but the 6mm arc has capabilities, and I think has a little bit more staying power.
Yeah. Unlike, I thought the 224 Valkyrie came and went pretty quick. It seems like the 6mm arc is got a lot more, I don't know, a lot more buy-in.
Are you saying 224 sucks and no one should ever buy it? I just know there's a listener who really wants one. So.
Well, so the 224 Valkyrie was an answer to a question that no one asked, and actually it wasn't even that. It was a response to an answer to a question that no one asked when Nosler came out with the 22 Nosler.
Yeah.
And then they did all this stuff, and they're like, "Oh, hey, we made this 22 Nosler," and then Federal responded with, "We're going to make 224 Valkyrie."
Yeah.
And then no one made barrels the right twist, and much drama ensued, and they were not as accurate as everyone kind of hoped and made them out to be.
You got to remember, right? Like when you're buying stuff in the firearm industry is very faddish, right? So there's been a lot of stuff that's been around for a very long time, and these companies are always trying to innovate, which is awesome, right? Like there's a lot of good products that come out because of that. However, that also means that a lot of these companies still have marketing departments, and these departments are trying to come out with what's the next big thing that everybody can hop on that we can just sell the shit out of.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years into it, everybody realizes that it's shit or it's not living up to the hype. And then it just kind of dies out. So all I'm saying is, the 22 Valkyrie has, it has very good qualities to it. Right. But it is just one of those things that, in my opinion, it got a lot of hype right away, and then people just kind of moved on. I saw it quite a bit. I mean, I worked for a weapons for a company that even made a 224 Valkyrie with a 12.5-inch barrel for an AR-15, and to me, a 12.5-inch barrel on an AR-15 is not what the intent of the 224 Valkyrie was used for. You know what I mean? But people were just putting stuff out there because it was such a hot commodity at the time.
Yeah, there has been things that happen with it. Like I've seen some of the 6mm arc stuff where they have run a shorter barrel and still been able to produce results, and a solid result of that, because like they're not running like a 10-inch or something like that, but they've got down into like a 12-inch barrel, and they can still do accurate fire. And one of the big things with that is 224 or 6mm is a 243 caliber. And where the 350 Legend did a lot for states that had straight wall cartridges, the 6mm arc opens up a lot of opportunity to states that don't require a straight wall cartridge, but do require like 243 is the minimum hunting caliber. So for the three of us that live in South Dakota, it's 22. So 223 is perfectly legal to hunt deer with here. And in a lot of other places, that is not so. So you can still have that kind of shorter, compact platform, but you're still putting out rounds that, have, 100 grain 243 bullet is a solid pill. And, you're going to be using it you're not going to be shooting extreme long ranges with it, but it would be well within the realm of deer hunting.
Right on.
You know what I've been really intrigued with after we listened to our buddies over the We Like Shooting podcast? That 5.7 AR has just been in the back of my mind for the last week and a half. Like hardcore.
5.7x28?
Yeah. There's a conversion, like
there's two different ways to do it. There's one that runs, there's the AR-15, which uses the PS or the P90 mags or PS90, depending upon what variation you want.
No. That one actually is the slap in.
No, the AR-15 uppers that like PSA is selling use a P90 mag.
Well, those are gross.
And it clicks in and goes to the side.
I actually kind of like it. I would have got one if the 5.7x28 wasn't so damn expensive.
It's super expensive.
But I do like the fact that you have the 50-round capability in a really small package.
Oh yeah.
I mean that was one of the things that made like the P90 such a unique thing when FM developed it back in the 90s.
Yep. Well, and now 5.7 is a NATO standard caliber, so it's here to stay, and it's hopefully going to get cheaper.
I would love for that to get cheaper.
I would.
But
yeah, so that was a really long ammo rabbit hole. Back to
Yep.
products.
yeah, back to products. and since 6.5 art got, or 6mm art got brought up, I'm sorry, I went down. Somebody pushed the nerd button,
Oh fuck.
and
Turbo.
I went all the way. Like I went ham on it. But
Oh, good stuff though. What was the other one? Oh, I had another one that I found a couple of months ago and actually bought it. Safe Harbor Firearms makes a really good stock. I think they got all sorts of them for 1913 rails. I know there's B&T, there's MP5, there's a lot of different ones, but like one of the telescoping stocks that I have that came on my MPX, it was a little like loose,
Yeah.
right? So it's still it's still comfortable. I still like the footprint and how small you can get a collapsing stock, especially on a 1913 rail. But the Safe Harbor Firearms was it was just overall weight and size was a lot smaller than like my MPX telescoping stock, and it was just it had really tight tolerances on it. So I was a huge fan, and it was an all aluminum one too. So you can get both of a stock. You can also get one with a tail hook adapter, which is a pistol brace. Yeah, yep. But I got the one with the tail hook adapter, and it's big kudos to them. I don't know. I was just pretty impressed with the tolerances and how tight and not as rattly that stock was.
so there was one more question that got popped up, and I promise I'm not going to keep nerding out on ammo stuff. And the 350 Legend has a ton of merit, and I really, really, really want to see the subsonic loading variants of it, because like the straight wall cartridges are, they're like it's a solid performer, like legitimately, and it just maths out because 9mm and 223 have, I know it's not the same head stamp, but it's arguably close enough to be called the same. And so running a 9mm where you just don't neck down and put a shoulder on that 223 case makes sense from an ammunition manufacturer. Like the bullets are out there, and if I could get the, like the 200 grain 9mm bullets in that, and then run that as a subsonic, oh man,
Yeah.
like then being able to go back and forth between sub and supersonic on it. I have, like we have a friend who has taken a couple deer with it, and he loves it because he's in a shot, that's what he uses for deer hunting in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Jake says Illinois, it's 350 Legend is booming right now because they just passed laws allowing for straight wall cartridge. And I lived in Iowa. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago when they passed the law there as well, because it used to be just strictly shotguns and muzzle loaders. And the 350 and 450 market just boomed, and it was awesome. One thing I did learn though from talking with all my friends who were using those type of weapons is you don't want to go crazy on the size of your magazines, right? So 10-round magazines fed very reliably, but the second these guys started stepping it up to like a 20-round mag, they had a lot of feeding issues. Again, that's not firsthand knowledge, but that's what I've learned from talking to people. And then I also want to address Thomas. If you go on to Palmetto State Armory right now,
oh yes,
Century Arms, their MP5,
the AP5,
the AP5K, so the same version that I got right here, they're on sale right now for $800.
Oh, $899.
$899.
Palmetto just has some banging deals right now.
Smoking deal.
If you click that and use code, if you add it to your cart and then put the code AP5 in, it will drop it to $899. It's like $903.
Yeah, it is
what it came out to be.
Deal. And that used to be Zenith Firearms, right? Zenith
yep.
is now
so
owned by Century.
MGE, which is a Turkish company. Yep. Well, they didn't. They're importing to Zenith is still around, and they're shipping to or they're making stuff in the US, I think now.
Okay.
And then but MGE is the company that made these in Turkey. And they yes, Tom, so I understand kids liking food. But Vernon, yes, it says
but my kids like food.
Oh, well, ramen's food.
Yeah, ramen's. You can get a lot of ramen, Tom.
Yeah.
we're bad influences.
Yeah.
But,
I
no.
call it poor man's caviar. I ate it through college. What you do is you scrunch it, you crush it in the bag, then you put it in the bowl, and then you eat it with you scoop it out with Pringles potato chips.
Oh, that's
Poor man's caviar. Yeah.
fair. I was just gonna go with caviar of South Dakota, which is tiger meat.
But
Those
anyways,
poor tigers they kill.
so MKE, who is the manufacturer in Turkey, they make it on HK tooling that they got, like from HK through some shasty or odd business dealings. And then as these things come through, so this is an imported from Turkey weapon, but so are all the Canics, and everyone loves those. Allegedly.
Say otherwise.
But no, Vernon. So yes, it's it's sub $1,000 with the code AP5, and that's a screaming deal on an MP5 clone.
Yeah, and they function really well. Like, don't get me wrong, I have an HK. I did a comparison video on YouTube between my
HK and a PTR.
Yeah, I did a comparison between an actual HK and my PTR. Minor differences, right? But nothing major. I can't imagine. I've never owned a Century Arms one, but if they are actually formerly Zenith, I know of a lot of guys who have had those guns, and they work really, really, really well. So you can't go wrong. Don't be scared by the price there. That's just a smoking holiday deal, I think, legit.
And Vernon, for what would be an ethical range or a humane range for a 350 sub, that would I would have to math and see exactly what it is, because at my elevation,
glasses. I'm an old man. I can't read the board.
at our elevation here, which actually should be fairly close to most places, you're looking at about 1,000 feet per second.
Yeah, we're about 1,500 feet, I think.
More or less is the speed of sound. And
I don't know. I suppose I can compare it. My HK's in the car.
That's a long travel. It's out front. It's cold.
I will say that is one noticeable difference. Like, it sounds pretty good, but the spring pressure on the charging handle on the actual SP5 is stronger than the spring pressure on the PTR. But I haven't had any issue with either gun. Don't mean to turn this into the German podcast.
Well, that's okay. I'm going to keep talking about math.
Okay.
And so where Thomas says it would be less than 100 yards, that's not exactly true, because subsonic out of a 300 blackout, you're generally looking at 150 yards, because the easiest way to put it would be if you wouldn't kill it with a 45 long Colt. If you then don't try and take that shot, because everyone equates around to something they already know. Supersonic 300 blackout is the same as 30-30 or 7.62 by 39, because really they kind of go back and forth. And then the ballistics on it are close to 45 long Colt when you're shooting a 209 grain pill. So that comes down to how much muzzle energy, or how much mass and muzzle energy and speed and things like that. And I could really nerd out and do all the math, but I won't.
Good. I mean, that came out wrong. Good. So wait, I have a quick question real quick.
9 inches.
No. Japan 4? No, I was thinking, how are we going to determine what we're going to give away here, fellers?
Well, we've had a ton of interaction tonight.
We've had a lot of interaction, and I think we should just pick our favorite comment of the night.
Well, I think we can do that. We're not done yet.
No, we're not.
we'll pick.
That's my vote right there.
We have a handful of ways to do this.
That's yours.
Well, not that comment, but
Okay. Well,
We could
right. Nope. Up. That guy.
Black Velvet. No,
No, not that one.
Well, that Black
No,
Velvet. That brings
no.
back bad state
He
fair
can
memories.
keep all the Black Velvet. No, I'm not talking. Yeah.
No, we can definitely go through that. We'll work through this in just a minute. While we're having this discussion of who we pick, I like picking our favorite comment. That sounds delightful. And we might pick our favorite 5 comments.
Okay.
And load them into random number generators.
There we go.
Let's do that.
That'll
That's
work.
cool.
Or
All
just count off who all has commented and how many people have, and then just put that.
No, favorite comments. Let's go with
favorite
that.
comments.
Yep, favorite comments. And we'll
All
pick 5. So we got 2.
Yep, and
I did like that one. That one's not bad. Not AR-15 related, but it did make me laugh.
Doesn't matter.
HK slaps. I don't know. I've been on that kick. I'm
Yep.
sorry. I've been on an HK kick, an MP5 kick for the last couple of months.
yes, you're right, Thomas. Deer size does matter, and that Georgia deer are way smaller than Iowa deer, which are.
There's only one way I can spell Iowa, and I have to say it every time out loud. Idiots out wandering around.
And that hate mail goes to Garth Hofer.
That outlook.
AR-15 podcast 2.0 at gmail.com.
No, we can't afford separate emails.
No, it's AR-15 podcast 2.0 at gmail.com. Attention, Garth.
Subject Garth. Yeah, Google wants $12 per email.
Yeah.
Woo.
So, we've talked a lot about this, and we've been talking about gear all night, guys. And you know where to get a bunch of gear?
Ooh, tell me.
You could go to TacPack.
Yeah.
TacPack is a monthly gear drop straight to your door. Each month they send a new box with tons of gear. So whether you're into survival gear, knives, gun cleaning, or gun parts, TacPack always has gear for you. This code will get new subscribers and a gift of at least $70 in free gear that will ship separately from your first monthly TacPack. And that code is AR-15 podcast.
Dooley, I like gear, but you know what I like to do a little bit more? I like to be protected.
Oh, you like to be protected?
I like to be protected. I mean, if you're not going to protect yourself, why have all the gear? So why don't you tell us about how we can be protected?
Well, do you want to keep you and your loved ones safe in these uncertain times?
I just want to LARP.
Are you looking for a full kit setup or just to upgrade what you have? Well, then you need to look at Predator Armor. Quality American-made armor, and accessories, not some cheap junk from across the Pacific. From lightweight, flexible backpack armor to full plate carriers with plates, IFAKs, and more, Predator Armor has it all. Use code AR-15-10 for 10% off.
That's a good sound, isn't it?
It's a great sound.
Yeah.
Can anybody else hear this sound? That is the top of the whiskey bottle popping off.
So good.
No, we spell Pierre. It's just everyone else in the world pronounces it wrong.
Pierre. The French.
Yeah,
Pierre.
There's no tilde over the top of it. LARPing Podcast 2.0.
So I got a funny LARP story here real quick. So I had hired a gentleman who was in the Guard to come out and do some video work for me on the gun range. And I had brought, full kit and whatnot. And I told him, we got to the range, we got our stuff unloaded. We had our initial powwow, what type of stuff are we looking for? What type of stuff are we going to shoot?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of go, okay, we'll get some reloading B-roll and some slow motion, rounds being ejected and stuff like that. And then at the end I was like, and then after that, we'll just go full LARP and take some cool guy B-roll. Right. And he goes, okay, sounds good. And so I'm throwing my body armor on, and it's like, all right, let's get our LARP on. And he goes, oh, that's what you meant. I thought you were gonna like pull out some Harry Potter and wizard shit. And I was like, I don't know why he wants me to film that, but whatever, he's fucking paying me. So he was expecting me to come out with like medieval armor and shit when I said LARP.
Expeliosis.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I like it. I like I don't get that.
Oh, that's near and dear to my heart. Lucas Botkin, T-Rex Arms,
Okay.
has, to my knowledge, never served or anything like that, but
Yeah.
does a lot of training, and got in trouble once because he sped up the footage
Oh yeah.
of himself on the range. Like they took a video and it was like, yeah, we're doing this, and then it was like you could see it
But
was
the grass is like waving really fast
If
in
you
the
want to be
background.
Mecca, like there's only one way to beat him. Practice.
I just like Grantham. He goes, no, I'm just a professional LARPer. Are you saying you don't want a broadsword in the next Tremors movie? Now, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't own
when
one.
do we stop making Tremors movies? Because like
what are they on right now?
6,
Are
I
they?
think.
Fuck, I thought they stopped at 5.
Nah.
Are they like having a competition with Sharknado?
Asparagus John Wick.
What did he say? Move it.
Yes, that is all brilliant. I thoroughly endorse all of this, and continue to give us our best. Like that should be the next email contest
Mm-hmm.
for the next batch of stuff we give away. Send us your best magic spell for Tyler to do when he LARPs.
Do I have to flick the muzzle of my weapon a certain way?
Please do it before we go to SHOT Show.
Oh, God. So I do like one of the things we're going to do this next year. Haven't done it yet. I've heard of groups doing it, but when we schedule our 3-gun, and you guys should do this with yours and Pierre, we're going to do a John Wick themed 3-gun match.
Ooh,
where you
that'd be
have
fun.
to show up. Like it doesn't matter, you go to Goodwill, go to Salvation Army, whatever, but you have to run the entire day in a suit.
Oh, I will be.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I highly recommend you might do that more in like April as opposed to July. But
Well, then we need to send emails out now because like I want to do it right now.
Maybe put the wand as a bayonet.
Fuck, I don't even own a bayonet.
No, but like I have bayonet lugs on a rifle.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I'm the retro guy.
Well, so like all of my stuff
I'm
has
I'm not even the retro guy.
You're just my guy. When I talk about guys, most of the time, like 72% of the time when I got a guy, it's you.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's like I was gonna say because that wouldn't be like if we took one of those like Harry Potter Expelioso and gutted an old M9 bayonet and just ran it in so that you had the bayonet lug where you would attach your bayonet to the rifle, but it be a magic wand.
I got shit to do this week. I can't be doing that shit.
Yeah, you do.
We're gonna be in class. We're gonna be a Snapchat from Dooley.
Oh yeah, gangster pinstripe suit.
If I could find a suit that would fit me, like here's the thing.
Yeah.
I bought a suit jacket for Stock Show, and I got called names. I'm not gonna say those names online because I don't want to embarrass my mother. Because she was the one calling them those, So
You bought a suit jacket to go to a cow sale?
no, not a cow sale.
What'd you
To
say?
the rodeo.
Stock show.
Stock Show.
Stock
It's
show.
a rodeo.
Oh, it's a rodeo.
Yes,
Okay.
but they call it the Stock Show.
Well, it's
okay.
Black Hill Stock Show and rodeo.
And rodeo,
okay.
yes. I'm gonna look fly.
Did you wear your AR-15 podcast hat, or did you get a?
No, I'm gonna wear my shirts, dude. Like those
Ah.
look. Whew. I have a bowler hat. Can't wait.
Ooh,
Oh, I
you
look
can
good,
pull
man.
off a bowler
I
hat.
can, dude. I know I can. I've seen me do it.
Well, guys, I think it's hitting that time where we all have picked out a favorite comment, I think.
Yeah, yes. So how many we picked? I picked out one. You picked out one. You picked out one. We just want to do 3, or we want to do 5.
I don't know. Surprise me.
I'm good with either. We can pick out 1, 2, or 3. Or
I know the comment I'm picking out.
Okay.
And the name, and you know the comment you're picking out with your name,
Mhm.
and you know, and there's 3 of us.
So we could do that and just do a random number generator
Correct.
for 3.
Let's do that.
Man.
And while he does that, we should talk about Patriot Patch. PatriotPatch.co. If you're looking online and watching us, you can see it on Dew's microphone that there is a nice patch of the Munch Club. Munch Club. Month Club. My bad. I actually haven't got my new one this year. Have you got yours for this month? Have you guys?
I have not.
I have not
Not
either.
yet.
So Jacob's a little slack in there. It's okay. It's fine. It's whatever. But they have a patch of the month club. They also have 10 signs, as you can see behind me here. They also have t-shirts and stickers. They have morale patches. They have pop culture patch. They have cleaning pads, which I think are the greatest mouse pads in the world. I have that exact same one on my computer. Fantastic. You guys should go check those guys out at Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co.
So before we do this, we need to decide, guys, who is. So as we pull this up, everyone can see that we're on the up and up.
Yep.
We're gonna stop sharing for a moment. Who is what number?
My guy can be 1.
No, it'll be 2.
Okay, that leaves me as 3. So,
Just put our names in, then we'll announce. How about that?
oh no, we're just gonna do this, and when we hit this, I'm gonna hit go, and you can see this being live.
Correct.
And
So I'm 1. Okay, gotcha.
I'm 1, I'm 2, he's 3.
Perfect. Let's do it.
so generate 2.
2. You got it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Congratulations, Vernon. It's going to you. You got a Expo Arms 16-inch upper receiver. We'll be getting that out to you next week, but make sure you get in contact with us. Send us an email at AR-15podcast 2.0 at gmail.com with your info and your address. Give me a week. We're at a training this week, as we said. I'll be back in the office next week, and we can get that out.
And that's the number 2.0.
Yes.
The number 0.
Right on. And make sure you check us out on the rest of our social media. Facebook, AR-15 Podcast, Instagram and YouTube, AR-15 Podcast 2.0. And as I said, feel free to reach out to us on Gmail with any questions, comments you may have. And our show is on firearmsradio.net, Spotify, and
iTunes.
Yeah.
iTunes, all of your major podcatchers. I think we're even on Stitcher.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, what the hell is Stitcher?
That's how people and well, they used to have Alex Jones on, allegedly.
I like little Alex.
Garth's over here talking about how they're turning the friggin' frogs gay.
They're turning the frogs gay, dude. I've seen it happen.
Well, folks, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. So guys, keep listening out there. We seriously enjoy when you guys interact with us like you did tonight.
Yeah, this has been great.
We have more guests coming up, and I couldn't think of a better way for the show to go out on a year than with talking to all of you guys. And keep coming back, and we'll keep putting this out. Again, reach out to us with any questions or stuff. I generally answer listener questions almost immediately.
Yeah.
And we do have a handful in the hopper to do a listener question show, because more than one person probably has those. And just keep putting those out. And then again, guys, stay engaged, because we will have more giveaways as we go.
Yeah, we already have some. So we're going to keep thinking something creative We like you said, when you guys interact with us. Yeah, we're going to come up with some more fun ways. We're going to have a lot more cool stuff to give away. So stay tuned.
Yep. And Garth, you got anything to add tonight? Where can they find us?
We already did that, bro.
Well, you did all of that?
Yeah, like
All of
twice.
it.
All right. I was already like, apparently I couldn't hear you. So all the places, you know, at Instagram and all of those things. And I'm just so used to passing it off to you to answer
Well,
those
tell
things.
you what, happy trails until we meet again.
And I'm still not singing. So you folks out there, you stay safe and stay armed.